So thank you again for coming, and I want to introduce one of my co-hosts, Jessica Garcia. She also lives in town. She's a social worker just like I am. And Jessica, thank you.
My name is Jessica Garcia. I am a resident here in Barrington. I am also a social worker. I work at Thunder Mist in West Warwick. And I also have a private practice right here in Barrington where I serve members of our community with mental health and substance abuse issues. Not only that, I serve members of this community and of Providence who have been victims of racism and injustices and even police brutality. I mean, that is the fact, that is the truth. I don't think we can be silent anymore. That's the problem, is we've been silent. And it's not a secret. So we're here today, and we are here for a family that was a victim of racism, that it was identified as, quote, racial overtones, but it was not. It was a hate crime, and it will be a hate crime. That's why we're here. We're gonna fight. It's gonna be a hate crime. And we are not gonna stop until it is. So thank you. Thank you so much for being here. For being here for us, for being here for our children. I'm here as an advocate, as a citizen, as a social worker, but I'm here as a mother to my biracial daughter here, that I'm going to raise her, and I'm going to stay in this town, and I'm going to raise her, and I'm going to feel comfortable, and it's going to feel safe for everybody. So thank you. Now bear with me, I'm not good at pronouncing names, but I am here to introduce Sagamore William Guy, also known as Winds of Thunder, from the Pokanoket tribe of the Pokanoket Nation, who's here to also address you guys and speak in behalf of this crisis, because that's what it is. This is a crisis. Just like COVID-19, this is a crisis. So thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Taniska, which is hello in my language, and Kwadakwakwa, Pawnee, good afternoon. It's an honor for me to be here. He said, my name is Po Wa'api Neopog, Winds of Thunder, and I am the Sagamore of the Council 7, Royal House, Pokanoket Tribe of the Pokanoket Nation. And in that capacity, I would like to welcome you to the ancestral lands of the Pokanoket Tribe and Pokanoket Nation, which is Somes. 400 years ago, my 10th generation maternal great-grandfather welcomed the Pilgrims to this country. The Pilgrims were a different race of a different ethnic background, yet my people welcomed them to this land. A peace treaty was signed with my 10th generation great-grandfather, the Massasoit Osamiquin. And Osamiquin, Massasoit is not his name, Osamiquin is his name, which means yellow feather. Massasoit is a title, which means great leader. He was a great leader of the largest Indian nation in colonial America. Well, he signed this peace treaty, which lasted 54 years. Unfortunately, as time went on, my people found themselves being the objects of hatred and being discriminated against in our own land. It is not okay, and I stand here today to say it is not okay then, and it is not okay now. It is not okay to tolerate hatred and oppression of one people against another. We need to strive to live in peace, harmony, and balance. We, the indigenous people of this land, stand in unity with you 400 years after we welcomed the Pilgrims and support the equality of all men. If I, an American Indian, the original inhabitant of this land, can do that, then so can everyone else in this land. We must learn to love our neighbors as ourselves so that we can truly be one nation under God with liberty and justice for all. In closing, I would like to say, give a little war cry that Anawan, my paternal great-grandfather, 10th generation, my father's side, gave to his people during the King Philip War. And that was, Ayutash, stand firm. Ayutash, stand firm. Ayutash, stand firm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming out. Thank you for the amazing people that organized this on such short notice. It was truly a community effort, and it's really great to see people here without much warning. I don't know if you can hear me. So I just wanted to be really concrete about some of the reasons why we're here today, because a lot of times, we talk, like the first statement that was put out by our town council had a lot of language that suggested that we believe in equality and equity and respect for all people, but in reality, the nature of that statement, which was to downplay this as an incident that had racial overtones and that it had anything to do with a property boundary dispute, is absolutely inaccurate and is one more example of systemic racism that exists in Barrington and in Providence. And I just want to be clear that I respect and admire everybody on the town council, and I respect the people who work for the, in the town hall. But I want to be clear that all of us have been raised in a toxic environment, and we have no perspective on what it's like. You and I, all of you are my friends, and we don't have any perspective. And if this incident was a wake-up call and an absolute shock to you, then we need to be more exposed. And we have specific things that we're asking for from this town that they should implement, and we've been asking for it for a while. And I'm going to use this opportunity to be specific about some of the issues that are very important for Barrington that do not currently exist. Okay, we need anti-racism training for the teachers and administrators for the public schools of this town. Many racially motivated incidences, hate crimes, not overtones of racial something or other, hate crimes have occurred in our schools on a regular basis to children of color and to teachers. Okay, children from this town are bullying their own teachers. That is sick. That is one of the sickest things I've ever heard. And when these incidents have occurred in the past, people have brought them to the attention of the people in charge who are supposed to be educating and teaching our children and keeping them safe. The biggest danger in our town is not an outside shooter who's going to come in and kill our children. It's our administration and our town and ourselves and our community and our lack of willingness to be very uncomfortable at this time. This is a very uncomfortable time, and it needs to be. So let's move forward to make it more comfortable. Not more comfortable like, hey, let's put out a statement that says we believe in equity. Let's do stuff. So anti-racism training for the teachers and the administrators of the Barrington Town school system is essential. I'm just gonna say, if anybody wants to talk afterwards, I'll be over here. My name is Catherine Quinn, and I just wanted to thank these guys, and I leave this microphone up to you to decide who you hand it to. Okay.
Would anyone from the public would like to make any comment, question, or any statement?
Let's go. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. No hate.
So, okay, I was saying that the emotional pain is unbearable. And I've lived it for 17 years. We've been trying our best just to live in a town peacefully and be treated like human beings. We are not asking for any handouts. We work hard so that you can live in this town. So I think we deserve the respect. We deserve to be treated just like anybody else. I was born and raised in Senegal, which is in West Africa. I came here when I was 28 years old to get an education, and I ended up staying and living here and working hard. I have an education like everybody else. We've been good people. So I don't even know why I have to say this, but I feel like every time I have to prove it to some people for them to treat me like I'm a human being. So I just wanted to say thank you very much for coming over today and supporting us, because we need this. And it has to be something that's ongoing. We're not just going to be here and like march for a couple of days and go sit down and come back. We need to keep it going so that they know we are
Thank you, Mr. Kuna.
I've got a big mouth, so I don't need a microphone.
Thank you.
I am here today in support of everything that what has been said. What happened the other day was despicable. We are constrained by laws that are written and what we can do. But I'm here to assure all of you that we will do everything we can possibly do to make sure that this gentleman is held accountable and that our community continues to grow and prosper and be the community that we all want it to be. So we're here behind you. We're doing everything we can to support you, and you've got that from me, and you've got that from all 5 members of our town council, so thank you.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I'm a member of the council, and I want to add to something the town manager said at the beginning. And he said that the actions the town takes is confined within law. And that's completely accurate. And that's why we want the community to engage. Engage in council meetings, because that is where we set the law. Some of our laws are constrained by federal law or state law, but we can set town ordinance and town policy to create the framework for the community we all want to have. So please show up and speak out, not just at rallies, but every day you have an opportunity to engage with the town government. Please do so.
Hi, my name's Lisa Scorpio. I'm from Providence, but I owned a house on Forbes Street in Riverside for 15 years. And my children are black. When I was buying a house, we purposefully did not buy in Barrington because Barrington is racist. Barrington is known to be racist, and whenever you hear about people of color in Barrington, it's because there's a problem. So you can't sit here and clap and say 99.90% of Barrington people are not racist, because that's not true. People aren't moving here